For the past few years, people have praised Chee's Coffee for how quote-unquote good it is. Many people have praised it. The fans, Nina, YouTube themselves. But I'm tired of it. I'm tired of everyone praising it like it's better than every other ship in the whole universe. I'm tired of it being milked dry, and I'm tired of it being overrated. So I'm going to try my best to explain why Chee's Coffee never deserved to be this praised. And also, there might be a chance I might forget an episode that has to do with Chee's Coffee because I'm using someone's playlist, but if I do forget one, just let me know. And also, by the way, if you like Chee's Coffee, then that's okay. I'm not saying that you're wrong and I'm right. I just want to express how I think it shouldn't be considered to be this good. I'll also be talking about the parody show at the end because recently it's been trying to do a Chee's Coffee story as well. And hey, if you manage to watch the whole video, I'll show you a little something I made in iMovie. But with that being said, let's get started. Starting with the episode that started this whole thing, Pretty. She is at a party and Cofi shows up and simply calls her pretty and then leaves. Now, here's the thing that's kind of stupid. All Cofi did was call Chee pretty, and that's why Chee has a crush on her. Yeah, that's kind of a stupid reason as to why she likes her, because what if Slushy was there instead and she called Chee pretty? Would she have a crush on Slushy? Or what if Chicken was there and called Chee pretty? Would she have a crush on him? See, it's the lamest explanation as to why you'd ever have a crush on someone. Like, what if they were just complimenting you to be nice? Now, apparently this wasn't the full reason as to why this started. During the livestream Q&A, it was basically confirmed the whole reason Chee's Coffee happened was because the fans wanted it to happen. And if Chee and Coffee never ended up together, then Coffee would have ended up with Slushy instead. To be fair, the fans would have definitely been upset if Slushy got with someone. But like, why are you letting the fans tell you what to do? I've already talked about this enough. Let's just move on. Next episode, Vegan Meat. Coffee eats what looks like a chicken wing to Chee's surprise, but then reveals that it's cauliflower. Nothing really much to say about this one, so let's move on. Next episode, Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. Chee is talking about how a wolf in sheep's clothing means someone looks nice but is deep down bad, while Chicken thinks that a sheep in a wolf's clothing looks scary but is actually sweet. And then the camera pans over to Coffee, who has a bird sitting on her hand. Although I don't really have much to say, I do like that it's shown that Coffee is probably good with birds and whatnot. But yeah, let's move on. Next episode. You tell him, Coffee. Ice Cream tries to scare Chee only to get stopped by Coffee and is forced to apologize. This is the one that I put in that other video I uploaded, which was the beginning part of BFDI 1A, but it's Chicken Nugget. But we're not talking about that right now. The people in the comments are literally on Coffee's side most of the time, and Ice Cream almost never gets back at Coffee, like, ever. The fact that Ice Cream is literally a demon and can easily take on Coffee any day but chooses to be scared baffles me. And I think I might know why they decided to nerf Ice Cream. It's because of Chee's Coffee. Like, think about it. They want more of a reason for Chee to like Coffee, so obviously the only way for them to do that is to nerf Ice Cream and have Coffee defend her. You can't tell me this isn't the reason why they did this! Sorry, let's just move on. Hey, just a little editor's note here, but I think I've realized that the whole thing with Ice Cream and Coffee is basically just the same thing with Teardrop and Eraser in Teapot. Is like, think about it. Both rivalries are one-sided. Teardrop always beats Eraser, and Coffee always beats Ice Cream. Ice Cream was lucky enough to only get one shot back at her, while Eraser never got a single shot back at Teardrop, like, at all. Ice Cream was basically lucky enough to at least get one shot back at Coffee, while Eraser wasn't lucky at all. It, I guess there are a few differences, like Teardrop being cocky while Coffee isn't, but uh, uh, yeah, I just wanted to mention that because I thought that was a little interesting thing I realized. I guess. Uh, yeah, let's just move on. Next episode. Coffee's not messing around. Coffee shows up behind Ice Cream and says to not scare Chee, despite Ice Cream scaring everyone, including Chee, and then Coffee threatens Ice Cream. Now, I get that they were trying to show that Coffee probably does like Chee back, but like, Coffee defending Chee isn't exactly something special. Because Chicken literally defended Chee after Hot Sauce called her a dumpster fire. And also, not to mention that Ice Cream only scares people for fun and nothing more. Anyway, let's just move on. Next episode. Oh. Chee asks Ice Cream if Coffee might be into her, and Ice Cream tells her to just go for what she wants. Nothing really much to say about this one other than the fact the book Ice Cream is reading doesn't have a cover on it. And I know that other cartoons sometimes have books that don't have covers on them, but I just thought that I mentioned this. Anyway, let's move on. Next episode. You can do it, Chee. Chee tries to ask Coffee out, but gets too nervous and fails. Not much to say other than this short still shows that Coffee is still good with birds. Well, okay, fine. A bee isn't a bird, but you know what I mean. Oh yeah, also, I don't know if anyone's ever mentioned this before, or if I'm the only person to ever notice this, but the two sounds that play when she tries walking away sounds like two notes from the song Blue Danube Waltz. Hopefully I pronounced that right. So, yeah, that's cool. But anyway, let's move on. Next episode. Don't brush her. Chee wishes that she wasn't so shy, and Ice Cream tells her that mortals only get so much time, and then Chee threatens Ice Cream. I'm pretty sure this is another instance of Ice Cream being nerfed because now Chee is able to scare Ice Cream. Oh yeah, and for some reason the lettuce and tomatoes on Chee's hat in the second shot are gone for whatever reason, but are back in the full shot. Anyway, let's move on. Next episode. Here to help. Coffee's standing near a bus stop when it starts raining, and then Chee suddenly shows up with an umbrella and puts it over herself and Coffee, and then they both walk away. Now, I guess this is a nice thing because Chee did a good deed by putting an umbrella over Coffee in the rain, which some people would do because it's the right thing to do. Although I'm pretty sure Chicken would do the same for Chee. Don't worry, I'll talk about Chicken and Chee in a minute. Also, it's kind of weird that she's just randomly showed up out of nowhere and that it suddenly started raining like that Hollywood cliche. But anyway, let's move on. Next episode. Best friend support. Chee tells Chicken that she has a crush on Coffee and that she's too nervous to ask her out, but Chicken tells her that she can do it and he also wishes that he could be with someone. Okay, this is why Chicken and Chee should have been in a relationship. They're always there for each other. They've been together the longest out of all their friends, and it just makes perfect sense. Chee x Coffee doesn't make sense because they barely even have any chemistry, while Chicken and Chee do have chemistry. Hell, here's how Chicken x Chee could definitely work. Have Chicken and Chee be best friends at first, and after a while, have them both slowly develop stronger feelings for each other, and then have them finally realize that they care about each other more than just friends. And then they would both confess to each other, telling them how they truly feel and that they love each other. And then, I guess if you want, they could kiss. A few other things to make it work is to not have it be one-sided. Let us see both sides of what's going on. And also, don't spell it out for us every time that they like each other. Keep it subtle at first and then make it less subtle over time. But make sure that it's slowly less subtle over time. If all of that was put together, then it would make the episode where they confess all the more satisfying because the build up to it all would have been much more worth it. Okay, I think I've talked about this long enough to show my point, so let's move on. Yeah, a little editor's note here or whatever, but you would not believe how frustrating and kind of hard or whatever it was for me to get this right. Took me 11 tries to get this part right because I wanted this to be perfect. But yeah, just letting you know how many times it took me to get this right, which was 11. So yeah, but yeah, let's just move on. Next episode, very fashion. Cofi dresses up in costumes that look like the other characters, including Chee. Not much to say about this one other than the fact that Cofi didn't dress up in a costume of hot sauce and sarsaparilla, which I don't really get why she didn't do that, but let's move on. Next episode, sweetness. There's cake on a table with slices for everyone, and Cofi gives Chee the slice with a strawberry on it. I get this is another way that they're trying to show that Cofi probably does like Chee back, but like, this could just simply be considered as
a random act of kindness.
Like, I'm pretty sure Chicken would have done the same thing Cofi did. But let's move on. Next episode. Nice collection, Bez. French Fry is just sitting on the floor using a fingernail filer, and then Bezel shows up carrying Chee over to a corner that Cofi is sitting in, which gets her nervous, and then Bezel walks away with French Fry annoyed. Not much to say about this one, even though I don't like Bezel. Well, okay, fine. I guess I sort of don't really get where those vines were coming from. But, yeah, let's just move on. Next episode. Summertime is pool time. She's sitting in an inflatable pool while Chicken's pouring water into it and goes to turn the water off and is about to get in with Chee, but everyone else somehow teleports into the pool, leaving no room for Chicken. I don't really understand why they couldn't have just made some room for Chicken. And also, it was only meant to be Chicken and Chee in the pool. No one else. Oh yeah, and Chee and Cofi are staring at each other. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Next episode. Slushy is always so kind and supportive. Cofi walks by Chee and Slushy while they're on their phones, and Slushy notices the look Chee gives to Cofi, and Slushy then asks her if she likes Cofi, and she replies with yes, and Slushy tells her that she's a sweetheart and that she should go for it, and then randomly says that cheeseburgers and coffee are a weird combo. Look, I know that she was just telling Slushy this, but like, guys, you're not BFB post-split. You don't have to spell it out for us every time that Chee likes coffee. Like, seriously, they act like we only have 2 brain cells and can't remember that Chee likes coffee. When it's basically impossible to forget that she likes her when they keep bringing it up every time. Sorry, let's just move on. Next episode. We believe in you, Chee. Chee isn't able to open a pickle jar, so Cofi does it for her, and Chicken's sitting inside of the jar and whispers to tell her. Nothing much to say, I guess, other than the fact that the tablecloth kind of reminds me of Slope. You know, the game Slope. Anyway, let's move on. Next episode, Duck Duck Duck. Chee and Coffee are feeding some ducks peas, and then Chee looks away for like 1 second and Coffee disappears. But it turns out Coffee was just being followed by some ducks while walking. I really like how they're still showing how good Coffee is with birds, and this time ducks are birds, so it still counts. But anyway, let's move on. Next episode? Question mark. Coffee and Chee like each other. Okay, I know that I probably shouldn't include the compilation, but I just want to state that there's literally no point to say it in the title that they like each other because we already know by now. Well, it's more one-sided, but you get the point. Let's just move on. Next episode, Go for it, Chee. Chee's sitting nervously and then decides to toughen up and text Coffee to meet her at the flower garden. I can honestly relate to this because I can get kind of nervous while trying to say something to help a friend of mine. But let's move on. Next episode, Chee and Coffee's flower date. Chee arrives at the flower garden and meets Coffee there. They both then walk around the place until Chee almost accidentally touches a poisonous plant. Coffee then picks a yellow flower, places it on Chee's head because it reminds her of the dress she once wore, and then they both kiss. Now, I'm pretty sure we all know that almost everyone screamed their fucking heads off when they both kissed. And I say almost everyone because, well, I didn't scream, I didn't shout, I didn't cry, and I didn't whine. My expression was just blank, and I'm pretty sure some other people's reactions were probably the same as mine. Although, speaking of my reaction, the only words I said in the comments was just, alright then. While my actual reaction was just, damn. I feel bad for Chicken. Another thing I have to say is that this is basically when they started milking the ship dry, and I like to call this the Chee Coffee milk age, because after this they knew that the ship would be more popular than before, so they started to make more shorts about it, so that they get more views, and not to mention the fact that the other characters would barely be focused on after this. Well, I guess I do have something else to say, which is that the whole arc could have been done better. Like, all they had to do was just not have it be one-sided. Because of this, we barely even know if Coffee ever did like Chee back more than just a friend, or not until this episode. Because, besides Coffee complimenting Chee's dress, standing up for her, giving her a slice of cake, and opening a pickle jar, they barely do jack shit of showing us that she likes her back. Which it also makes the scene where they both kiss a little odd or sudden, since, you know, Coffee barely ever showed any signs to begin with. Okay, let's just move on. Next episode, She Did It. She tells Ice Cream Slushy and Chicken that she did it, and Chicken congratulates her, and then she tells Chicken that he's her bestest friend forever and ever. See? Basically shows how well Chicken X Chee could work. But I already talked about how it could easily work earlier, so let's just move on. Next episode, Smiley Face Heart. Coffee gives Chee a kiss on the cheek, and then Chee gives Coffee a kiss on the lips, which causes her to faint. Not much to say other than if I got kissed on the lips, I wouldn't faint, but I'd definitely be caught off guard. Oh, also, I feel like everyone in the comments just straight up turned into NPCs after this. So, yeah, let's just move on. Next episode. Welcome to the Couples Club. French Fry says what the title says and welcomes Chee to the Couples Club so she can go to them for advice and stuff. Again, not much to say other than the fact that Cofi is in here. So, yeah, let's just move on. Next episode. Girlfriend. Hot Sauce asks Chee and Cofi if they're dating in a sassy tone, while Cofi looks like she's about to attack him, but then he says that he wants a girlfriend too. Again, not much to say other than Hot Sauce could probably end up with Sushi. But if that did happen, then the fans would be pissed and would also want Hot Sauce's head on a stick. Yeah, we definitely don't want that to happen, so let's just move on. Next episode. Just a couple of snoozers. Chee and Cofi are sleeping together. Do I really need to say anything? Well, okay, fine. I guess I like the bad lights that they have, but besides that, let's just move on. Next episode. Sharp. Chee and Cofi are holding hands, and Cofi asks if her claws are too sharp, and she tells her that they aren't, and that she's also self-conscious about how sharp her claws are, and Cofi says that they can be sharp together. You know the drill. I don't really have much to say, so let's move on. Next episode. Nervous. Chee and Cofi tell each other that they're the first person that they've ever dated, and then they both kiss while Chee jumps on top of her. Not much to say, so let's move on. Next episode. It happens with new Love Chicken. Chicken tries hanging out with Chee, but she keeps brushing him aside. Okay, this time I actually have some stuff to say. This episode made me pretty sad the first time I watched it. And in fact, I actually made a little thing where I went up to Pillow and told her about Chee brushing Chicken aside just to hang out with Cofi. And then I told her that I wanted her to kidnap Cofi so that she would probably have no choice but to hang out with Chicken, so things would go back to normal. I never screen recorded or uploaded this because... well, actually, I don't know why I never uploaded it. Although, I guess I could just show it now. But after thinking for more than 2 seconds, I realized that showing it would be pretty cringe, so I'm not going to do that. Anyway, I still think that it was rude of Chee to brush Chicken aside when she easily could have made time for him. But let's just move on. Next episode. Chicken, it's okay. They're your friends. Don't think like that. All of Chicken's friends are barely hanging out with him, and it's leaving Chicken very sad. Not much to say other than Bezel looking kinda ominous, so let's move on. Next episode. Oh, that's not good. Chee's hanging out with Cofi and Slushy while Chicken's feeling left out, and Bezel goes over to him telling him how he can, quote-unquote, fix everything with his powers, and then Chicken accidentally mind controls Chee. Yeah, when I first watched this episode, it just made me more sad because this wasn't how I wanted it to go. And I'm sure it definitely made other people sad as well. But let's continue. Next episode. Happy Pride Month. There's pixel art of the characters with pride flags while the screen scrolls. Yeah, not really much to say other than it not being a perfect loop. Okay, look, I know that I'm not really giving it criticism like I was doing a while ago, but that's because I already explained my reasonings as to why GX Coffee didn't deserve to be overrated. I'm basically just talking about the episodes at this point. But we're not done yet, so let's move on. Next episode, Revelation. Chee's holding a piece of the grass and showing it to Cofi and Slushy, and Chicken finally snaps and turns into his demigod form, all to their horror. Now, this is where the playlist I'm using ends, but I found another playlist, so we're gonna use that, so let's move on. What? Oh, right. You're expecting me to say that I don't have anything to say? Well, sorta. I mean, I remember in the comments I said that I hate this. Because, I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean, this was kind of the part that I really started to hate. So, yeah, I guess that's something to say. I guess. Pretty sure some other people probably hated this too. So, can we continue? We can? Okay, good. Let's continue. Next episode. Chicken and Chee have a much needed heart to heart. Chicken talks to Chee about how he felt when she dismissed him because of Cofi, and Chee apologizes to him and says that she'll try to manage both, and then they both hug. Okay, I know that they had to fit this in a short, but Chicken could have at least expressed himself a bit more, and she could have at least shown more regret, because she literally caused her best friend to have a crisis and almost end the world. It's almost as if BFB post-split somehow influenced them. Okay, yeah, let's just move on. Next episode. Relationships require balance between your partner and your friends. Chee and Coffee talk about how they neglected their other friends and that they're sorry. The further we go, the less I have to talk about because I already explained everything. Okay, look, not much to say other than the grass being kind of maroon and also kind of looking like a carpet or something. So let's move on. Next episode. Make time for your partner and your friends. Chee and Coffee kiss, and then Coffee tells Chee to go hang out with Chicken while she hangs out with some wolves. I get that this is nice, but they overuse Chee's Coffee so much that at this point, whenever there's a short now that has to do with the ship, I kind of just roll my eyes, I guess. But I was glad that she was hanging out with Chicken again. But let's move on. Next episode. Hope your October is cozy and fun. Chee and Coffee bake some Halloween cookies and eat them. I'm gonna guess the cookies were either sugar cookies or gingerbread cookies. But let's move on. Next episode. Hope you all had a lovely Halloween. Chee and Coffee are watching a horror movie, and Coffee comforts Chee when she gets scared. Not much to say other than I probably wouldn't get scared, but maybe I would. I don't know. But let's move on. Next episode. Need a girl to chase me around like a wolf so bad. Chee's walking through a dead forest and Coffee comes out and hugs her. I don't really get what happened to all of the trees, but let's move on. Next episode. That works too, I guess. Chee holds a mistletoe over her and Coffee's head and is about to kiss Coffee, but she eats a piece of the mistletoe. Not much to say other than Coffee eating the mistletoe was a little funny. Anyway, let's move on. Next episode. Valentine's Day shopping. Coffee asks Chicken what to get Chee for Valentine's Day, and he tells her that being there for her is more than enough, but they still need to get her something. Okay, now this could easily be Chicken trying to find something for Chee. Well, if Chicken X Chee was canon, which it isn't.
Unfortunately.
But this is also where the other playlist ends, but I'm still gonna talk about the last few episodes, so let's move on. Next episode. Sitting side by side. Cute or tricky? Chee and Coffee go out to a restaurant and sit beside each other, but then it starts to talk like that. I guess I like the two background characters, and I think there's probably a giant window behind them, but a part of me sorta thinks that it's a mirror. But let's move on. Next episode. Starting to get the appeal of these romance shows. Chee and Coffee are watching a romance show, and they also never really understood, but then Chee looks at Coffee with a fantasy gaze and starts to understand. I don't really have anything to say about the episode itself, but I do have to say that I only added this while recording the lines for this because I forgot about this episode. But thankfully I remembered and added it before I uploaded this video. So, yeah, let's move on. Next episode. Oh. It approaches. Chee and Coffee are just chilling in a room, and then everything suddenly turns Halloween. I like how they included Bago and Bowie in the background, which I like. Anyway, let's move on to the final episode. Final episode. Third wheeling for no reason. Chee and Coffee are sitting on a tree stump, and then Buzzle teleports in because he wants to be the third wheel, so then he picks them both up and walks away. Okay, as of right now, this is the latest episode, so this might as well be considered as the final episode of the video. Anyway, I guess it's kind of neat that Buzzle is hanging out with them and stuff, so yeah, that's basically it. I'm finally done. I can record the lines, add some other stuff, and that'll be it. Oh. You thought I forgot about the parody show. Alright, let's do this. Editor's note here. A new chicken nugget episode has released today, and what do you know? It has to do with GX Coffee. I was almost there, but then this had to... Yeah, okay, whatever. Look, I'm sure so yeah, I'll include this. Yeah, I'll just talk about this real quick and then we'll move on to the parody show. Pretty sure some of you also noticed that I didn't include the other Pride Month video earlier, which, yeah, I didn't, so I might as well include it now. And, I mean, hey, if I don't include this episode that released today, the video will probably seem outdated, so, yeah, I might as well. But, yeah, let's continue twice, I guess. Next episode. Just one bite. Chee's walking through the woods again, saying that she hopes no scary monsters get her in a sarcastic tone, which then Coffee comes down from the trees and playfully bites her. You think I don't have much to say? Well, guess what? I do have some stuff to say. Like, how are the trees still dead? Okay, enough of the question that isn't even funny. Let's actually talk. I'd like to know how Coffee was able to hang from the tree like a vampire. Although she is pretending to be a vampire in this episode. Or is she? Yo, Chicken Nugget Love Square fans, where you at, bro? Anyway, after looking at the trees in the second shot, or technically third shot, who cares, for more than 2 seconds, I realized that the trees are not dead and that the leaves are just purple. Yeah, it definitely doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. Anyway, I don't know about you, but the way she screamed after Coffee bit her seemed a bit kinky, don't you think? And yeah, it was meant to be a playful scream, but look at her face. And I know it's also meant to be an act, but you can't tell me there's not something else going on. And I'm pretty sure some of you are gonna say something like, "Oh my god, how could you assume something like that?" But like, dude, ice cream probably has some kinks. So, I don't know why you're getting mad. Also, the banner basically just foreshadowed this episode the whole time, which I guess is cool. But, yeah, let's move on. Next episode. Happy Pride Month, everyone. The gang is just having a picnic with pride flags hanging from the trees. Yeah, obviously there won't be much to talk about because, like I said earlier, I already explained everything. But I guess I'll try to say something anyway. I guess I like the headband and the arm band French fry and ice cream have. And I guess I also like the tank top she has, along with the makeup Cofi put on her eyelids. And with the blanket they're all sitting on. I also like chicken and Slushy's scarf. I wonder what kind of chips those were. Maybe Doritos or maybe tortilla chips. I like the flags they have up there. Oh yeah, and Cofi kissed Chee on the cheek. Was that the main thing you wanted me to just simply get out of the way? I'm gonna assume you said maybe. Anyway, now we're actually caught up with all of the Chee X Coffee videos, and we can finally move on to the parody show. Well, as long as I get this video out before another one gets uploaded. But let's move on. Okay, look, I won't talk about every episode that has moments of Chee liking coffee because there's only one specific episode that I want to talk about, and it's Season 6, Episode 2, Luck Streak Sodi. Sodi gets out of bed in a bad way and needs a good luck charm, so French Fry rips off Ice Cream's foot and gives it to Sodi as a good luck charm. And the rest of the episode is basically just Ice Cream trying to get their own foot back while Hot Sauce helps. But because of Sodi's good luck charm, any attempt they try getting it back ends up failing and killing someone else. One of the attempts they try is running him over with a truck, which fails, but it ends up killing Cofi, crushing her entire body but only leaving her head. And also, Chee was standing next to her, and do you know what she does? She doesn't cry or scream. Instead, she picks up her head and says,
"Now we can stay together forever."
This basically shows that Parody Chee is definitely a psychopath. Soon in the future, she'll probably go insane and kill everyone else just to be with Cofi. Like, think about it. What she just said and how she reacted is definitely how a psychopath would react and what a psychopath would say. And if Cofi doesn't want to be with her, she'll probably just kill her too and keep her dead body so that they can always be together. Or, you know, this could just be a one-time thing, but who knows. Also, before I get to the other stuff I want to say before the video ends, I just wanted to say that Chicken X Onion Ring will probably be another ship forced by the fans. Because they forced Chee X Coffee to happen, so they'll probably force Chicken X Onion Ring to happen as well. But maybe this time they learned their lesson and they won't let the fans force them into making it happen. Hopefully. What? Expecting me to say something else? Well, okay, fine. I guess I do have something else to say. I don't really get why it's only until now that she has a crush on Coffee in the parody show. Like, there weren't any signs before, so I don't really get why Chee's making it obvious now. But I guess maybe the only reason Domsauce decided to try and implement the ship into the show is because he knows that the ship is popular, so he probably thought that if he included it, then the parody show would be even more popular than before. Hell, for all we know, he could probably be planning to milk it like how the actual series milked it. Like, at this point, Chee x Cofi will be the only ship they want to see in the parody show, so including it will get his views to go sky high. Well, at least I think that's what his plan is. I guess. And to be honest, if Chee and Cofi do end up being together in the future episode, I wouldn't be surprised if Domsauce had them both make out with tongue. Considering the fact he literally had ice cream make out with themselves in a previous episode. With tongue, by the way. But, yeah. I guess that's that. Well, we're finally at the end of the video. After a whole day of writing, I can finally rest. And then after I rest, I can actually record the lines. And then add the other stuff, and then upload it, and then that'll be it. This is definitely my biggest video yet, and I guess I'd have to say that I'm proud of this. And also, like I said at the beginning, everything I said in this video isn't meant to be a fact or the definitive truth. It's just my own opinion. And like I said, if you like Chee x Cofi, then I respect that. But I'd really appreciate it if you weren't so rude with your opinion by calling me and other people rude things. Also, I really want to thank Worst Trends for inspiring me to make a video like his. And I know I'm definitely not the smartest person, but hopefully I made some good points in this video. But hey, hopefully this video won't be too long. Oh yeah, you made it to the end of the video, so that means you get to finally see the little thing I made in iMovie. So, here we go.
I can't stand to see you scared like this, Coffee.
We know!
Whoa, that reaction was so obvious I think it might have even heard teardrops speak.
Me? Why are you pointing at me?